Spartans! What is your profession?
Hello everybody, hello and welcome to JATO. Please welcome your compere for this evening, Cesar!
It's so good to see you guys. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm happy to see you, and well, I guess you too. Are you happy to see me?
Yes!
Oh, it's lovely that we have something in common. We should fuck. Anyway, just a quick reminder, Bernados is tonight here. It's a charity for children. If you could donate some money, that would be lovely. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. You know, audience interaction is something very weird. See? Completely weird. It's like a conversation with my parents because you don't care who I am. And you're just waiting for me to say something funny that you can tell your friends at a party. But I want to change this. I want to make this less of a conversation with my parents. So, on the count of 3, I want you to say, I'm happy to be here, okay? 1, 2, 3!
I'm happy to be here!
Okay, can we say like if we were not a fucking cult? Okay, let's try to be happy this time. I'm happy to be here. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3!
I'm happy to be here!
Great, now we are a happy cult. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try now, I love comedy, okay? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3!
I love comedy!
That's more like it. And now, at the count of 3, you're going to say, I love you, son! 1, 2, 3!
I love you, son!
Thank you, Mom. Okay, and now, the first performer of tonight, please welcome to the stage, Hannah Wessel!
Hello everyone, good to see you all. Hello. Hi, nice to be here. Hello. So, as Cesar said, I'm Hannah. Some facts about me, because we're going to learn about me tonight. I'm from a place called Southport. Does anyone know? No? Do we know Southport? Anyone? Yeah, a couple of raised hands at the back. Some facts about Southport for those of you lucky enough to have never been. We're on the coast, we're a coastal town. We have our own theme park there, where you can catch chlamydia from riding the log flume. And if you stand on the coast, on the beach, if you stand on the beach and you look across the sea, you can see Blackpool. Really clearly, you can see Blackpool, but it's really, really close. You know, practically next door. In fact, it looks so close that it looks like you could really easily walk across the sand from Southport to Blackpool. And people do. And those people die. Because you can't actually walk from Southport to Blackpool, but people still try. Every year someone tries, they go across and then they die. And then, awkward. And the Southport newspaper, they run a story about it and then they put a note at the bottom that says, hey, can people please stop trying to walk to Blackpool from Southport? I mean, guys, we literally have a direct bus. What are you even doing? You're trying to escape Southport to get to Blackpool. You're like the shittest refugees ever. Okay, there are people trying to leave their war-torn countries, and you're trying to escape Southport to get to Blackpool. No one needs to go to Blackpool that badly. What have they got in Blackpool? Apart from the highest number of people in the UK on antidepressants. It's what they've got in Blackpool. But you don't need to leave Southport for that. Because we have the highest number of people in the UK growing weed. So it's the same thing. So, apart from being from the weed capital of the UK, I'm also pretty old. It was my birthday recently. It wasn't that recent anymore, but I'm just going to say it is. And I turned 24. I'm just looking to see if anyone believes that I'm actually 24, and you're probably all doing great. Fantastic. So, at the very least, I didn't think I looked 24, I thought I looked a bit younger, but actually, apparently, I must look older than 24, because I was in Sainsbury's the other day, And I don't know if you've seen Sainsbury's like giving out these like Lego trading cards when you buy stuff. Like trying to jump on the Pokemon card bandwagon that died in the early 2000s. And there was a man in front of me at the tills, and he just paid, and the woman was like, "Oh, do you want these Lego trading cards?" And he said, "Oh no, I'm fine." But then he sort of looked at me and went, "Oh no, unless this young lady wants to take them home for her kids." I know, right? I was genuinely quite speechless when he said, like, I was so angry, I threw my toddler at him. It was mainly the plural that got me, because I was like, okay, fair enough, 24 might be not that weird to have like one kid, but it was like the multiple. Like, this guy looked at me and he was like, yeah, this girl, she definitely has more than one kid. I mean, 24 is too young to have more than one kid, right? I mean, I know from the north, but, you know. So, aside from looking like a mother of three, I also feel really old. People keep telling me not to. They're like, you're only in your 20s, you've got your whole life ahead of you, stop worrying about it. And I'm like, yeah, but also, what you may not know is that when you hit your 20s, there are already a lot of things you can never do because you're too old. So like, I was thinking about this the other day, I could never be an Olympic athlete. Could never do that, you know. Olympic athletes, they train in their field from a really young age, all for their entire lives. I've not been training in anything for my entire life, apart from exceptional paranoia, but they don't hand out medals for that. Or maybe they do. They just haven't told me. I could never learn a language, not fluently. You know, once you get 18, your ability to learn language plummets, so I can't do that. How am I ever going to learn Welsh now? And maybe most tragically of all, I can no longer be a teenage mum. You know, if I wanted to do that, that ship sailed years ago, and I didn't even notice it happen. How am I ever going to be a massive disappointment to my parents now? I'll tell you how I'll be a massive disappointment to my parents. It's by doing an English degree in high school, when I could have done something useful. Oh no. It wouldn't actually be that bad if I was like the first person in my family to go to uni, but I'm just not. Both my parents went, they're both successful doctors. And the thing about growing up with doctor parents that you learn from a very young age is that there's no such thing as being too ill to go to school. And this led to me receiving what was probably the most embarrassing award of my life, and yes, there are such things as embarrassing awards. I was in year 11, it was the last day of high school, we were all having an assembly, and I went in and they sat me in the middle, which was weird, because my last name begins with W, so I'm normally sat in the back. But then it became apparent, as the assembly went on, that we'd all been split into two groups, with the front group receiving awards and the back group not. And I was the last person to be receiving an award. But I didn't know what in, because I did at that school, I did nothing. You know, people going up, someone went up like to get an award for the best grade in our English exam, someone went up for like raising the most amount of money for charity, someone else went up for being the person to get our deputy head thrown in prison for being a pedo. And then it finally got to me, the last person, and I walked on the stage, and what the hell are they giving me? And then my headmistress just said, in the microphone in front of everyone, Miss Hannah, so Hannah is receiving her award today for 99.9% attendance over 5 years. Yeah, that's right. I missed one day of high school, and that was to attend a funeral that my mother tried to have rearranged to the weekend so that I wouldn't actually miss it. I miss you, Dad. So I had to go on stage and collect my biggest loser in the school award. But that wasn't by any means the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. No, I'm going to tell you about that now. So a few years ago, I accidentally sent a picture of my ex-boyfriend's penis to my ex-boyfriend. Not a different one, the same one. I sent a guy a picture of his own penis. We'd been broken up for like a year. We hadn't spoken in months. Like, just imagine his reaction. He's like walking along, his phone buzzes, and he's like, oh, Hannah, she probably hasn't spoken in so long. I wonder what she wants. That's a penis. oh, very funny, huh? So mature. She sent me a, yeah, it's probably the penis of the new guy she's sleeping with. Oh, isn't that so funny? No, wait. No, that's definitely my penis. What does that mean? What is she trying to say with that? Does she want me back? Does she want to see me? Has she just gotten a lot worse at conversation over this? What does she mean with that? Just for some context, I was trying to send it to a friend, and I accidentally forwarded it to him, so that's how that happened. And unsurprisingly, he responded with a very fair, what the fuck? And I thought, there's no really coming back from this. I'm just going to have to be completely honest with him. So I said, I'm really sorry about that. I was trying to send it to my friend. And he said, fair enough, let me know what she thinks. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.
You know what's very difficult about audience interaction? That you need the audience to respond to you. And the trick to that, like the key to that, is to ask them things they feel comfortable answering. For example, you sir, when was the last time you had sex? No, kidding, I'm kidding. I wouldn't ask that to a regular audience member. Hello, regular audience member. When was the last time you had sex? And I hope the answer is yesterday, because that means that I was something to you. Who do I ask now? You know the thing now that you're all afraid that I might ask you when you have sex the last time, and I'm creating like this regime of terror? But no, I have a better idea. Well, you terrorist! Take your backs away from me! I have a better idea, and this better idea is to beat the shit out of that guy. No, never mind. The best idea that I have is, now, at the count of 3, we're all going to say, when did we have sex for the last time? And don't worry, because if we all say it at the same time, we will generate that confusion, and no one else is going to know what we said, okay? So at the count of 3. 1, 2, never! I'm a virgin! Kyle, the next one. Oh, okay, let's try with something else. Let's forget all the sex thing. What if we say, at the count of 3, this was all a dream, okay? 1, 2, 3!
It's all a dream.
Thank you very much, and now your next performance is Tom Lamore!
Hello everyone. It's nice to be at university, I'm glad to be here. I graduated a year ago. A friend of mine graduated at the same time as me. He studied chemistry. I studied something which doesn't lead to a career. No, I studied philosophy. I remember asking him, I was like, mate, what are you going to do now that you finished with your degree in chemistry? And he's like, oh, I'll probably do a master's. Okay, fair enough. What are you going to do when you finish your master's? He says, I'll do a PhD. Damn, that's ambitious, but I believe you. What are you going to do when you finish your PhD? And, I mean, like, by this point you'll spend, 8 years studying chemistry at university. I imagine you'll be pretty eager to contribute back to society. He says, when I finish my PhD, I'm moving to Tibet, and I'm living out the rest of my life as a Buddhist monk. Okay, fair enough. I thought you were going to cure cancer or something, never mind. So he's a chemistry student aspiring to be a Buddhist monk, I'm a philosophy student aspiring to be on welfare. Neither of us are going to do any work, but at least I'm allowed a girlfriend. Speaking about girlfriends, when I was 18 I went on my first adult date. I know that it was an adult date because at no point in the evening did either of us get a lift from our parents. Scarily enough, we actually met here. This is actually really weird. We met here, over there, I can see it. I'm not going there. Yeah, so we met, nothing really interesting happened. The story really begins when we left. So we left, and immediately off to walk her home, which is kind of stupid because we both live on campus, we're already home. We start walking, and everything's going fine, and then suddenly I realise, I'm panicking, I realise, oh shit, I haven't thought this far ahead. We're going to get back to her place, we're going to say goodbye, and there's going to be some sort of physical altercation. And I don't know what to do, like there's going to be basically a hug, or there's going to be a kiss. That's how you kiss. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, basically, you're only supposed to, in my mind, you're only supposed to go for a kiss if she likes you. And I don't know if she likes me. How am I supposed to know that? I don't know. So what I do is I look back to our time spent moments ago in county bar. I think, oh, she's just spent the last hour looking rather uncomfortable. Yeah, but you know, like, some girls have a resting bitch face. Maybe she has a resting, I really wish I weren't here right now for this. That doesn't mean anything. She was very eager to leave. Yeah, she's just playing it cool. She probably has an essay due or something. Doesn't mean anything. She smiled at me once. Oh, I knew this would happen. The poor girl's fallen for me. I'm gonna tone down my charm next time. It's not fair. I can't play with people's emotions like this. So I'm thinking, a kiss should definitely be on the table, but now I'm thinking how to go about it. Oh, I know. Be spontaneous. Spontaneous works on the telly. I'm gonna be spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous boy. So we're walking, we're nearly there, and all of a sudden I'm having doubts. Thinking, is this really a good idea? Yeah, sure, it'll be fine. I don't know. We get closer, we start saying goodbye. I think we should maybe go and kiss her on the second date. Nah. Do it now, you coward. Oh, okay. I missed the mark on spontaneous. It was more like a jump scare kiss. It was part kiss, part headbutt. Proper Glasgow kiss. And I know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. How did she survive my cherry lipped assault? Well, this girl did an amazing thing. My face is hurtling towards her at a terrifying speed, and as I'm about to impact with her, she falls backwards, like Neo from the Matrix. And narrowly avoids a fate worse than death. Anyway, we didn't go on a second date. A year later, I had my first serious relationship, and we are talking, it was one crazy romantic roller coaster. We are talking intense levels of passion. We held hands and everything. Actually, we did hold hands. It was weird, one of the weird things was she was ever so slightly taller than me, which I didn't like. But when she wore high heels, it was just ridiculous. So I was walking around like this. We were walking down like a road, and she'd step up onto a curve, and then I'd be like this. It just felt silly. So I think she realised. She stopped wearing high heels, and I stopped feeling like a child. I also stopped calling her mum. Yeah, one of the weird things about relationships is I kept asking her this question, like 6 months in or something. I kept asking her, why did you say yes when I asked her out? It was a bit weird thing about it. But it was kind of important to me, like, I had 2 reasons. One, I wanted to piece together the romantic story of how we met. A little something to tell the grandkids. And 2, I wanted a compliment, pretty badly. So I asked her the first time, and she goes, oh, it's a secret. I'm thinking, damn, you little tease, I really want to know. So I asked her a month later, and she goes, oh, a woman never tells. This better be good. I'm persistent, I'm never going to stop. And I'm shocked, I'm like, why did she ask me when I asked her out? I brought this up so often, why did she do that? And it's a pretty tricky question. Like, we were in the same lecture, the same seminar. The day I asked her out, I remember it quite clearly. She gave a presentation. Now, watching the person you fancy give a presentation is pretty fun. You get to stare at them and it's not creepy. I want it. Yeah, anyway, so, I don't know, but I don't know why I asked her out. I guess the reason is, at the end of the day, I had to ask her out, because if I didn't, I would have regretted it for the rest of my life. So, we're in France on holiday, and I asked her for the 3rd and final time. We're by the beach, we're in the hotel room. You can hear the faint cries of seagulls and the waves gently crashing. I look to her and I say, so, why did you say yes when I asked you out? And she goes, oh, okay, I'll tell you. I think, thank God, finally! I'm quaking with anticipation. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I'll know why I was so irresistible. I'll know what's special about me. I'll know why she said yes, and all those other women said no. She goes, the day you asked me out, I just had to say yes. Because if I didn't, it would have been really awkward. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're interval of 15 minutes, so please go to the bathroom and have a drink. Remember, we're not here if you want to donate some money. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage, Cesar!
Hello. There we go.
Hello, did you have an interval? Yeah. Okay, back to asking weird questions. You know what's very difficult and very scary about doing a stand-up comedy? Hecklers. Hecklers is something very, very difficult. And it's weird because you don't find hecklers outside a stage, right? Well, apart from Connie, obviously. But apart from that, like, you don't really like find hecklers outside a stage. For example, it's not like you arrive home and suddenly it's like, nice tits! Thanks, Mom. But if you're thinking of performing one of these days, I'll give you a trick. I'll give you one tip to defeat every heckler ever. So, for example, you lady, please, can you please heckle me? Say something not nice to me. Come on, don't worry, it's fine. I mean, it's like boxing, you know, we're punching each other, but it's completely fine. So say something nice to me. 20 quid if you beat the shit out of that guy. Our next performer is one of my best friends in the world. Please welcome Patrick Burton! Do I look like a pedo? No, really. Do I look like a nonce? I believe in children, not in a sexual way, okay? Okay, look, if I don't look like a pedo, then why is it that when I was at the bus stop the other day, and those two old women were there, from fucking biblical times, did they suddenly start talking a little quieter, behind my back, looking at me, sniggering, talking again? Why is that, huh? Why? Why is it that when I'm on the number 2 bus, and it goes by that primary school, people start giving me funny looks? Why is it that when I'm in the middle of town, and I'm walking by like a young family, the parents will purposefully reposition their children to shield them from me? Why is that? Why? I don't look like a pedo. Do I look like a pedo? Do I look like a pedo? I don't think that I look like a pedo. This can't be. No. Right, let me tell you how sound works, okay? Your lungs need to produce enough air pressure in order to appropriately vibrate your vocal cords so that you can produce a sound wave from your mouth when you breathe out. And then that creates a series of vibrations which carry through the air on the atoms, and then those vibrations go into your ear. Then they go down your ear canal, then they go around the cochlea, then they go on the hearing nerve. And the hearing nerve transmits that information to the brain, which then comprehends it and translates it to language. And then I hear the word pedo! And things like this have happened before in my life. You know? When I was a kid, I was 10 years old, it was summer. I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, the OG, not the shitty EA version. Thank you very much. That's the appropriate response. But I'm there, I'm playing, you know. And my sisters come in and they sit on the other couch. That's fine. They're there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I very clearly hear my older sister say, "Oh, you know what? I think Patrick might be gay." You can say what you want about me. You can spread rumours about me, you can gossip, you can talk behind my back, but maybe don't do it when I'm 5 feet away from you! It doesn't work that way! Although, to be fair, being gay, there's nothing wrong with being gay, so it's a bit different to being a pedo, because whereas you can still love anyone that you want, it's a bit different if they're still in primary school! It's not okay! But that's the thing, if I'm not being called pedo, I'm being called gay. Because, you know, I do theatre, I do comedy, and I've never had a girlfriend. And, you know, but that's not because I'm gay, it's just because I am a nervous wreck. You know, I'm the kind of guy, you know, I think that referencing obscure scenes in old classic Hollywood films is an appropriate icebreaker. Hey, remember that time in Casablanca when Humphrey Bogart's character meets Ingrid Bergman's character in that bazaar in Casablanca where it's set? Hi, my name's Patrick. I did nearly ask a girl out once. Nearly being the operative word. I went into a school, and you know, my crush was there. By the way, no, I was 17! It was 6th form, I was supposed to be there! And you know what? She was 18. So actually, she was older than me. So get fucked! Anyway, you know, I've psyched myself up for this. I've prepped, I've really prepped, you know. I've already thought of what I'm going to say to her. Oh, hey, do you fancy going out sometime? Brilliant, perfect, simple, clear, precise. I think I spent 8 straight minutes brushing my teeth that morning. I think I put on deodorant for a full 2 minutes. I was coughing and choking, but in my mind it was worth it. And then obviously I get to school, I'm in one room, and she used to be adjacent room, all alone. I'm like, oh great, right, this is perfect. Alright Patrick, you piece of shit. Fucking do this, alright? This is what you're gonna do, right? This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna have to ask her out. Do you wanna be a piece of shit for the rest of your life? No, I don't wanna be a piece of shit for the rest of my life. Then fucking do it, alright? Yes, sir. Can we make me do it later? No, do it now! Right, let's go. So then I go into the room, and she's there. She's reading a book. I can read too. We have so much in common. But then at that exact second, well, I walk into the room, as if perfectly scripted in a screenplay of my life. One of her friends also walks in from the other entrance to the room. And then they start talking, I'm just kind of there in this self-inflicted, humiliated state, kind of like, oh, okay. And then they're talking for a few moments, and then my crush looks over to me, and she's like, oh, hey Patrick, what's up? Oh, hey, did we have any history from work? You know what the worst part about that situation was? We did have history from work! So you know what? That's kind of who I am though. I'm just a nervous wreck. I'm just a sad, lonely, pathetic boy who barely talks to girls. And that would be okay, you know, if it was just that, it might be fine. I could manage that. But then life decided to screw me over even more with this. Don't know if you've noticed, not the most attractive guy ever. I'm not exactly Ryan Gosling. Is that still an appropriate reference? I'm not Ryan Gosling. You know what? When I was 15, I started going bald. Not great, is it? My mum was there like, oh, Patrick, you need to get a haircut. Don't worry anyway, it'll grow back. No, instead my hair migrated and is now on my face. And guys always come up to me and be like, oh man, I wish I could grow a beard like yours. You know, oh, your beard's great. No, it bloody isn't, right? It's damn annoying. It makes me look super old. You there? How old do you think I am?
23.
23? Alright, how old do you think I am?
21.
21? How old do you think I am? 20? Right, you're lying! You're clearly just doing this to protect my feelings. I am well aware that I look 45. But I'm not in fact 45. I'm actually 20 years old. I'm in the prime of my life here. And I look like this. And that's not even the worst part about the beard, right? It's just itchy. It doesn't go away, you know? It doesn't go away. I tried to make it go away. I shaved once. It came back in a week. I shaved again. It came back after 3 days. I shaved again. It came back after 2 days. I shaved again. Next day, it was there. I shaved for a final time. It didn't even go away. And then, please help with my shoes as well, you know? Which ironically is a good segue into this next section. When I'm walking down the street and my shoelace feels a bit loose, I'm like, oh man, maybe my shoelace is getting undone. You know what? I should look down and check for visual confirmation. So I do, thusly. But then in that second, thousands upon thousands of tiny daggers pierce the skin of my neck. I am in agony, pain coursing through my veins. I am just scratching and itching, and I'm in a lot of pain, and it's in the middle of public, and everyone can see me. It's Common Garden Street, and I'm just trying to get a bus, and I'm there, and I'm all like this. And then everyone's looking at me and saying, oh, is it that peanut boy again? No, I didn't ask for it, you know? I didn't ask for these fucked up teeth which have required years of ongoing orthodontic treatment to make look normal. I didn't ask for this huge Irish chin. I didn't ask to be this lanky. It's not my fault my metabolism is too good. Did I want to be a Bamzuki creation when I grew up? No, I didn't. But life chose that card for me. More specifically, my parents, with their perfect genetic combination, picked it just right for me. Oh yeah, because you know, my dad actually, he had an afro. Did I get an afro? Did I get that kind of hair? Nope.
It's just unfair, it's not great. Now don't get me wrong, I appreciate what my parents have done. They've fed me, they've clothed me, they introduced me to Northern Soul and D&D, two of the greatest influences in my life. But that doesn't mean our relationship hasn't been fraught with certain issues. Like I, for instance, I resent them for this. And also for giving me serious confidence issues. But they resent me for a few things as well, obviously. Most notably my existence. Oh no, sorry, no, you don't understand. See, I'm a twin, and that means that I wasn't planned. I was unwanted. They're going to the sonogram, guys like, oh, by the way, both heartbeats are just fine. What? Later in the car. We have to buy 2 prams. And it just got worse from there, like at GCSEs, when I didn't get any A stars, and Mum said that wasn't good enough. I wanted to decide I wanted to study Japanese, and my mum said, you're not smart enough to do that. And then what was funny? She was right! Although I suppose fake tears. No, the biggest and longest lasting impact that my mum's imparted on me in my life will probably be the instance where she decided to put on the 1999 film, The Mummy, for all of us to watch as a family. The Mummy is rated 15. How old do you think I was when I saw that film? Anyone? Shout out! Come on, shout out!
45.
45! See, at least be honest. I appreciate honesty. Any other answers?
10.
10?
15.
15. 12. 12. 8. You're all wrong. I was 6. Let me just quickly give you a brief overview of The Mummy. There's a scene where someone with their eyes who's gouged out is just walking around not being able to see anything. There's instances of scarabs eating people's entire flesh off and going into their skull and their brain and eating them. And of course there's one detail as well, it's a bit of a small detail, you might have missed it if you've seen the film. There's a fucking mummy walking around with gooey skin! It's not great! After half an hour, me and my 2 sisters fucking bolting it out the room because we can't take it anymore. We want life to go back to the way it was before, when times were simpler and not fucking scary! Now again, generally I've got this kind of idea that censorship is bad. Like, people should be entitled to view any kind of information or things that they want. But I'll make the exception for the age certificates on films, because they're doing a good job preventing most children from experiencing the same traumas that I have. Because to this day, I am terrified, absolutely terrified, of hieroglyphs, sarcophagi, statues that look at me funny, and mummies. Both undead and maternal, of course. But yeah, that's just me, just a sad, pathetic, lonely boy who fucking sucks and, is afraid of tiny pictures drawn on walls 3,000 years ago. But I suppose it could all be worse, couldn't it? I could look like a fucking pedo! Yo, boy! Yeah! Just like to stress again, I am not a pedo. But thank you very much for listening.
Patrick is a pedo, and that I'm his friend doesn't make me a pedo.
I'm not a pedo!
So back to the judge, thank you. Anyway, I'm going to be straight on with you. I have nothing to say for this bit, so I'm going to call on the next performers to help me. Please welcome to the stage, Jordan Summerfield!
How you going? How you doing? Sorry. I was going to say how's it going, how you doing, but it didn't go well. Hi.
Hi.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Right, so how many buttons would you say? This one, like 1, 2. What about one of these? No, neither one does these, do they? How about now?
All of them.
Oh, all of them. I thought of that. That's going to take a while. Can I sound? Alright. I knew that. Alright, does anyone want to go on a date? Doesn't have to be a big date. It could be a small date. Go to
Someone nice. You, sir, what's your name?
Jim.
Hi, Jim. How many dates have you been on this week?
One.
Want to make it one? I mean, two? You knew you were doing that when you went on that date. You knew you were going to fuck me over, didn't you, Jim? Hello, what's your name? Himani, do you want to go on a date?
No.
That's fine, I'm okay with this. What's your name?
Milan.
Do you want to go on a date?
No, thank you.
Can you just say yes? What's your name?
Yeah.
Oh, great, I want a date. Oh. So I've been Johnson the Fielder, thank you. Can I ask you a question? What is your dream date?
I've never dreamt about it.
What would you do if you go on a date right now? Like,
I'd go to a coffee place.
we're not doing that. I mean, you may be going on this date, but this is my dream date. You're just along for the ride, as it was. So, my dream date. We're going to go to a nice restaurant. I mean, not a nice restaurant, there's too many of those. It's too much choice. Not nice restaurants, they're not nice. But we are going to go to either one of my favourite restaurants in the world. McDonald's or Spoons. Now, to tell you the difference between the two, McDonald's, Spoons first of all, has a lot of drunk people in it. McDonald's is a bunch of angry drunk people in it. We're going to go there. So I like angry drunk people. They're nice. So, my dream date. We're going to do McDonald's. Now, I don't know if people have noticed, but there's a lot of imagery in fast food relating to war. First of all, let's take a look at KFC, one of the major players, as it were, of the fast food market. Their mascot is Colonel Sanders, a almost extremely white man who's an army colonel. Now, Colonel Sanders, of course, has his generals. He has the Whopper, the Zinger, and the Zinger Tower, which is just the Whopper on the Zinger shoulders, really. Then, on the other hand, who's running the monarchy? The Burger King, that's who. A man in a giant plastic mask under all his iron fist, or it's like the mask of plastic. But so anyway, the Burger King as well. I like the Burger King because the existence of the Burger King implies the existence of the Burger Queen, the Burger Rook, personal favourite, the Burger Bishop. And then you have McDonald's. You have McDonald's. Ronald McDonald, the fucking clown, and his shitty little friends. You got Grimace, who's a man named after this. You got Mayo McCheese, a man with a hamburger for a head. You got fucking the Hamburglar, a man named after his one aspiration in life, to steal the shittiest burger McDonald's do. So he's the court jester in this scenario. So let me ask you a question. The Colonel, the King, and the court jester. Who's going to win? I'll tell you who. The fucking clown, that's who. McDonald's are the biggest one. McDonald's that nowhere else exists anymore. So McDonald's, right? So you've got Burger King. When was the last time you saw a fucking Burger King? How about you? When was the last time you saw a Burger King? Exactly. It's like Woolworths. They're gone. History. Not even online anymore. You can't order a burger online. It's 2018. What the fuck? Sorry. And then you have KFC, who are just outside town a little bit, which is basically death for a fast food restaurant. Nobody's going to walk that far. Nobody gives that much of a shit. McDonald's bang in the centre of town. It's clear who the winner is here. So yeah, there's other fast food eateries, of course, so-called establishments. There's Wimpy. They went down pretty quickly. Because they were real wimpy. There's Domino's. One fell, the other followed. There's Subway. You have to go underground. So anyway, our dream date. So we're gonna go to McDonald's. When do you want to go on the dream date?
Next week?
Nah, it's too soon. We are going to go in late April or early May, because that is when McDonald's does a little thing called its Monopoly promotion, which is basically like a capitalist Avengers. Basically what you do, you go to to McDonald's, you got little stickers on your burger or on your wrap, you peel it off, you're like, oh, look at that, I've won something, and you have won something. The prizes can be small, you can instantly win a burger or some fries, or you can instantly win £250,000. Because what says, you know, capitalism than winning £250,000? I don't know, fuck. What's the other one? I don't know. So anyway, you'll be there in McDonald's ordering your food, of course. You'll be at the computer till they have, because we live in Black Mirror apparently. So you'll get the till, tapping away. I'll be there like, no. I'll pull out my instant wins. I got this one covered. So I'm walking up to the counter, gonna saunter up and do a few more buttons, and then I'm gonna go to the cashier. Hello. Yes, sir. Could I have a cheeseburger and one of those ice creams nobody orders, and a Mini Cooper. So we'll be eating our ice cream in our cars. Then we've got to go somewhere after my dream date. It's my dream date, by the way. Really excited. So we're gonna go to the park. The park's lovely. It's got a massive hill. We're gonna go up the hill, lay on the hill, look up at the clouds, like they do in films. Then they're gonna change into other things. Oh, that looks like a bike. We should buy a bike. One of those two-seaters and ride it. Lovely. Oh, that one looks like a dog. We should adopt a dog and call it Joey or something. And then it's going to happen. That's going to happen like it always happens. We look at each other. That one looks like a baby. And they all look like babies. And we look at each other like, oh, we should fuck. Yeah. So, babies. Now, I know people at my age are kind of cynical towards children. I'm not cynical towards children, just children under a certain age. That's 10 months. They're no fun when they're that age. Like, you know, they just sit there and cry and eat and shit and they don't do anything. They just scream at you. You don't know what's wrong, they can't tell you, they're too bloody lazy. So it's you know, it's not fun. But when they get to like 10 months, they can run about, they can walk, they can talk, they can tell you things, they can cry a bit more, but that's besides the point. So what I'm saying is, if we have children, I would want them to come out at that age. Like, you just keep them there a bit longer, I think. So anyway, yeah, so it's also a lot of fun when you're at a restaurant, a fancy restaurant. The baby's there in a special chair. Why don't I get a special chair? They got special chairs in the corner, they pull it over, the baby thinks, oh, I'm so cool, so that's a big chair. No, you're not, you need that because you're small. Really small. Sorry guys. So anyway, the baby's there in a special chair, you go over and about, it's like trying to say words like, oh, look at the baby, trying to say those words I use. I use those words, I recognise them, you can relate. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun just to watch the baby just try and do things, but being able to. So, yeah, one thing about babies though, they have no standards. No standards for babies. That's if there's any babies in the audience tonight, can I hear a shout? Yeah, you would scream, wouldn't you? Children. There's a lot of cynicism toward children. I'm not like that. So anyway, they have no standards. They think they can shit anywhere. They think they can drool and everything. I won't have that. I won't have that. Right. So finally our dream date. So that's nearing the end of our dream date. Really, I'm kind of upset. We have our two beautiful children named after the biggest influences in our lives, Reddit and iFunny. We'll retire to... Where do you want to retire to?
60.
The Cotswolds. Lovely. So... we're going to have a little house on a big hill. We're going to be old, we're going to be running up there like an up. One of us is going to run up, the other one's going to die. So we're running up a big hill with a big house. We'll live there, we'll retire together, die in each other's arms, and spend our lives in heaven. I mean, I don't know what you've done, but heaven, yeah. That's it, really. That's all I want for my dream date. It's all I want, really. Just
a stable, loving relationship, or family who can exist alongside us. Is that too much to ask, guys? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? No? You over there, is that too much to ask? No. You as well?
No.
That's 4 no's. Great. And do you know what? About us, do you know what? That is only the first date! Oh! Not even the second one. Oh boy. Right, I've been Jordan Summerfield.
Everybody. Jesus, you seem very stressed out. You need to relax, you need to chill. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. My mother is a psychologist, and she told me a pretty good method to liberate stress. So I need a volunteer to demonstrate this. Can I have a volunteer? Come on, don't bite. I don't bite. I'm Spanish. Oh, a volunteer here. Okay, then never mind. I choose you. Yeah, why not? Okay, so you seem very stressed. You need to calm down. So at the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to say "fuck you," "fuck me." Okay? So 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you.
When are we on the 20 quid? Okay, no, seriously, that was perfect. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. What I want you to do now is all of you create a big fuck you at the count of 3, okay? Fuck me! Insult me! Come on, liberate all the hatred that is inside your heart, okay? If you feel very confident saying, insulting me, you can call me a dickhead, you can call me a bastard, you can call me, I don't know, whatever you want, but please, don't call me anymore. I never played netball in my entire life. Okay, so at the count of 3, oh yeah, I forgot, and if you feel uncomfortable saying the F word, fuck you. At the count of 3, the biggest fuck you of your life. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you!
I'm getting late tonight. And now, our last performer, Chloe Humphries.
Hello, good evening. You could say I'm your climax for the evening. It doesn't get any better than this, unfortunately. So, my boyfriend recently wanted to have a talk with me, and he said it was about my behaviour in the bedroom. So I immediately assumed that this would be about the fact that I'm an antisocial sleeper. I'm perfectly fine on my own, but as soon as I sleep next to somebody, I become possessed by the spirit of a Black Friday shopper. I become fidgety, I become restless, and I have known to be violent. I once shared a bed with one of my mates. I was staying over at her house, fun sleepover, not for her. Because in the middle of the night, apparently I turned over and then just dug my nails into her arm for the entire night. So in the morning she was telling me about this, and it couldn't have been as bad as she said, because she turned around to show me and there was no arm there. It hadn't been that bad. But no, he didn't want to speak to me about this. So I was like, well, what's the problem? And he was like, can you start acting a bit more sexy in the bedroom? More sexy? That implies that there's like a base standard of sexiness that I already attained. Look at me! Right, sir. Do I look sexy to you?
No.
See, that was the right answer. Because if you'd said yes, he would have looked like a proper creep in front of all these people. But I didn't need to ask you anyway, because I know I'm not sexy, because I've tried sexting before. And on my last and only venture into sexting, the guy was getting proper into it. He said to me, oh, I moan into your pussy. And the only thing that I could think of to reply to this was, it moans back. Maybe sexiness is a balance of weirdness aggression, because I once went out with a guy who wanted to imagine that we were in an estate agent's. I was like, fine, we'll run with it. I start off quite strong. I go for you're into property, you're into floor plans, because I plan to floor you. I mean, I realise that does sound like, I'm coming off a bit strong there, but like, if I'm going to physically push this man to the ground, I need to be physically strong. But then he turns around to me and says, you like real estate? Because I plan to make you my property. What estate agents is this? This is like a 1600s estate agent where like marriage was like a type of property contract. Like, what happens now? Like, do I have to wear a corset? Do I have to learn how to cook swan? Like, if I want to leave this estate agents, do I have to have my head chopped off? Like, I have absolutely no idea what's going on there. But, on the topic of genitals, which is a phrase I never thought I'd say to a crowd, or anyone really, I struggle with, sexy language. How do you make the word penis sound sexy? Because as soon as I think of the word penis, right, I think of a rocket launching into space. Okay? So does this look like a penis to you? A little bit. I mean, yeah, the model, hasn't really fully accounted for balls yet, but when somebody says the word penis, this is what I imagine. And for the benefit of the camera, I don't know which one. But, whether you said yes or no to whether that looks like a penis, you'll never look at a rocket lolly in the same way again. But, I did try and rectify the situation with my boyfriend, not being sexy enough in the bedroom, because I introduced the sexiest food into the bedroom. Now, what do you think the sexiest food is?
Strawberries and chocolate.
Strawberries and chocolate, pretty normie answer that. I'm thinking, what do you think, sir?
Toad in the hole.
I'm just thinking. Anyway, for me. No, you're both wrong, unfortunately. I introduced love hearts into the bedroom. They've got love in the name, guys. Come on, like they're literally the sexiest food. I mean, who could resist such sensual phrases as "grow up"? Like, fair enough if you're a bloke, but I have a vagina. How does that work? And the classic email me. Is this 2008? And I mentioned 2008 specifically because that was when I got my first email address, which was chloethekitten@hotmail.com. Considering I was 12 years old, that's a pretty slutty email address. Like, you're not going to open an email from chloethekitten@hotmail and expect screenshots of Neopets, not tits. But, let's not forget the absolute classic of all time, don't cry. I mean, who cries while eating a packet of love hearts? And most importantly, nobody in any sexy context has ever said, don't cry. But let's try this now, I've got a packet with me now. Let's get into the mood. This one in particular is a sad crying face emoji. Look, I'm not lying. No, it's not for you. This one says, heartbreaker. And this one says, for keeps, in my mouth. God, love hearts are fucking grim. I'm gonna go and suck some dick to take the taste out of it.
That was the end. This is the end. Thank you so much for coming. Remember, Bernardo's in the house. If you could donate some money, that would be awesome. Actually, if you like what we do, tomorrow I have a general meeting in Bowling North Center Room number 23 at 6 o'clock. It will be awesome if you can come, if you want to get involved. So thank you very much and I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you!